I'm Joseph Rieger from the Town of Webster Police Department. I'm the police chief. With me is Monroe County District Attorney Sandra Dorley, her Assistant District Attorney Michael Robertson. From the New York State Police, I have Major Eric Lawton, Captain Carol Mullen, and Lieutenant Samuel Spezio. Also present is Deputy Chief Fowler from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. On October 9th, 2019, at about 4:44 p.m., the Webster Police Department responded to 270 Oakdale Drive in the town of Webster for the check the welfare of an individual. Responding officers located a deceased female inside the residence who had been stabbed multiple times. The deceased female was later identified as 56-year-old Kathy O'Brien of 270 Oakdale Drive. A joint investigation and effort by members of the Webster Police Department, the New York State Police, the Monroe County Sheriff's Department led to the arrest of Piero Scala of 787 Avis Blossom Trail in the town of Webster. The arrest was made without incident at his residence in Webster. Scala was arraigned by in the Webster Town Court by the Honorable Justice David Corritor. He was remanded to the Monroe County Jail with a preliminary hearing set for this Friday at 1 p.m. Scala was an acquaintance of Kathy O'Brien. At this time, we want to reiterate that this was an isolated incident and that there is no concern for public safety. This is an ongoing investigation. I cannot release information regarding statements or evidence stemmed from this investigation. This is certainly a tragic event for both families involved as well as the community at large. We hope this arrest brings some type of closure to Kathy's family. We want to thank all those in the community that have come forward with information. It is often difficult to close these cases without the cooperation and support of our community. I would like to thank both the community and the media for your continued patience as we continue to investigate this incident. And with that, I'd like to call up Monroe County District Attorney Sandra Dorley.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you all for being here today. You know, as you look around the room, look at all the members of law enforcement who are here. We have members of the Webster Police Department, members of the New York State Police, and members of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. It's the collaboration and the partnership with law enforcement that has enabled us to be here today to announce the arrest of Mr. Scala. So as the Chief said, Mr. Scala was taken into custody last night for the murder of Miss O'Brien. He was arraigned. He pled not guilty. A preliminary hearing was set for Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. My Assistant District Attorney, Michael Robertson, will be handling the case. And I can tell you that our plan is to put the case before a Monroe County grand jury before the preliminary hearing on Friday afternoon. Again, the only thing I could say about the facts of the case are that it is tragic, and we will make sure that we bring justice to Miss O'Brien and her family. I want to thank the community for their involvement, for helping us solve this murder. And if you have any questions about the case, I'd be happy to answer them. But again, it's still an ongoing investigation.
Sandra, what is the allegation?
The allegation is it's murder in the second degree, that he stabbed Miss O'Brien, causing her death.
Was it during a robbery? Are there other charges possibly pending?
You know, at this point, there may be other charges that come out of grand jury, but at least now the accusatory is murder in the second degree for the intentional death of Miss O'Brien.
Was he always a suspect?
I could tell you that he was a person of interest, and it was something that was developed over time. And again, thank you to the law enforcement partners that I have standing behind me. This is now a solved case.
What more can you tell us about the relationship they had?
Yeah, and again, I don't want to go into that. As the chief said, this is still an ongoing investigation, so we want to be very careful as to what we release at this point. I mean, the purpose of this press conference is to let everyone know that there is not a public safety risk anymore, that the person who has committed this horrible crime is now in the custody of the police.
But can you put it in perspective for us? You're saying this is an isolated incident, but yet we don't know the relationship between these two, and yet you're telling people there's no concern for public
Right.
safety.
I could go as far as to say that they knew each other, they were acquaintances. So I'm confident in saying that it's not a public safety risk to anyone else in the community.
Was he working for her in some capacity?
Yeah, I don't have that information.
Is it drug related at all?
And I'm not going to disclose that at this time.
Do we know if there was an argument or a fight? Did neighbors maybe talk about hearing a fight or an argument?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How about, you said the community was very helpful with this. How about certain tips that sort of helped you zero in on the suspect?
Well, there were people who came forward with information, and I'll leave it at that. You know, I've said often it takes a community to help solve crime at times, and again, law enforcement partners who are diligently working to make sure that we have, you know, the proper evidence to secure convictions, and that's what was done here.
Do you know which day she was actually killed? Was it the day that she was found or before that, or?
You know, I'm not going to answer that, but I'll be happy to turn it over to the chief if you want to answer any of those questions.
At this point, I'm not going to release that. I will say we responded to that location for check the welfare.
When you say check,
called for the check the welfare?
A friend.
what
friend
was-
called.
Was she working and that's why they said check the welfare?
Well, they didn't hear from her, so they wanted to know and have someone check to see her condition, her welfare.
So was she in ill health and that's why they wanted to?
I just don't think she was heard from for a while, so they wanted someone to check on her, so.
When you say the public was helpful, can you talk about how were some of those tips helpful in leading you to this individual?
Absolutely. You know, now people have all types of video, phone, and things like that, so we're able to once in a while find videos from different locations, so that's helpful. Just calling and giving us information as suspicious things that people may have observed. So any time a tip is given, we follow up on it. So those are things that are very important for the police, and you know, we can't be everywhere all the time, so we need the community to call us when they notice something that's suspicious or have information that possibly may be important. And if they don't come forward, we can never check on it. So once again, we're happy, we're glad that people did come forward with information, and that's what helps solve these crimes.
What more can you tell us about the suspect here under arrest?
Once again, I can't go into the evidence statements, things like that at this point. It's still ongoing.
Does he
Does he
know
have a
the
history
police?
with the law? Any?
Once again, I can't go into his background.
Is he known to police?
I don't believe so.
Was he a handyman?
I
by
can't go in,
trade
I don't
or a
know.
construction worker?
That I cannot comment.
Did you have video? Was there video used in your solving of this crime?
Once again, that goes into the evidence that we have for this case. I will say there's people and things that came forward that helped us, but I can't go into what evidence that we do have for the case at this time.
Have
Was
you
she
found her
living
car
alone?
yet?
The vehicle, we have a vehicle, yes.
And was that a Jeep?
I can't speak of what vehicle it was, but we do have a vehicle.
Was she
Is it her
alone?
vehicle?
Lived alone in the house?
We do have her vehicle, that's what I will speak of. I can't go into any more of the evidence. I don't know if you have any other questions, but once again, I said before, I can't go into the evidence and/or parts of this that may still be evidentiary in this case. So I do appreciate everyone coming out again. I'm glad to get this message out to the community that an arrest was made. I'm hoping that this will bring some closure to this case and to the family. So I do appreciate everybody coming out, and have a nice weekend. Thank you.
One other question I want to ask you. I know that I've been to a few news conferences where we've talked about crime,
Mhm.
particularly with isolated incidents. Are you concerned about, it seems like more and more, we're having more and more of these news conferences. Are you concerned about a trend or a rash of crime in the Webster area?
I am not. I am
And
not.
there's no connection to the previous homicide that had happened not too far from there, that
No, there's not.
a month or two prior?
Both isolated incidents, both different, and I'll leave it at that. So thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you.